Hey guys, this morning my weight was 242, my glucose check, and I'm sitting at 98 right now. It's been about 3 or 4 hours after my last meal. So today's topic is all about bad oils. So we want to, step three in reversing type 2 diabetes is to do it with no bad oils. So what are bad oils? Well, it's any hydrogenated and or vegetable oil. So common examples include, but are not limited to, coconut oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil, grapeseed oil, rapeseed oil, soybean oil, safflower oil, vegetable oil, margarine, shortening, and any of the fake butters or spreads. So all of these oils have been proven to be highly inflammatory and they can lead to insulin resistance. Of the five things that I'm going to go over, the five steps, I think that this one is the most difficult to avoid because it's in everything. Most of you are probably thinking, well, I don't eat corn oil or cottonseed oil or soybean oil. Well, unfortunately, if you eat out, you do because it's in everything. And this was the one that I didn't know. It's like no sugar is pretty obvious. No carbs is also pretty obvious for some people. But no bad oils is tough because we're not aware of what's in our food when we eat out. But I can tell you that I used to eat out a lot. I mean, I used to eat out 5, 6 days a week. And it's everywhere, every restaurant. And so I love to eat, right? And I get that a restaurant is a business. And so they're trying to maximize their profit margins by minimizing their expenses. And these oils, all the ones that I listed, are significantly cheaper than real whole healthy fats. And so that's why it's used in everything and in every packaged food, in every restaurant, everywhere, right? So there is a 99.99999 with a nine infinitely repeating chance that you're consuming bad oils when you eat out every single time. So the best fats that you can eat are coconut oil. And that's what I primarily use to deep fry with because I think that it's one of the best tasting, healthiest for the price, right? So I think it's cheaper than olive oil or butter or ghee, and it's great for frying, right? But you can also use olive oil, butter, ghee, avocado oil, and any animal fat. This includes, but is not limited to, lard and beef tallow. So people ask me all the time, they're like, why is it that you can, like, I thought that olive oil was healthy. And I kind of respond, it is. And they're like, but you said that all vegetables are bad oils. And then I tell them, yeah, because they are, but olives are fruits, right? And then they'll ask me about coconut oil. And I'm like, well, coconut's a fruit too. And they're like, what about avocados? And I'm like, avocados are also fruits. So when it comes to the fruit oils, you also want to buy them unrefined, organic, and cold pressed. Because if you take a fruit oil, which is super healthy for you in nature, but you filter it, add high heat and chemicals, you can ruin any of the health benefits of those oils. And they become just as bad for you as the highly processed oils that I mentioned before. So, the last and kind of most relevant point that I want to talk about when it comes to these bad oils or bad fats, I get asked about animal fat. And there are some people that say, well, animal fats are high in saturated fat. And I thought that saturated fat leads to heart disease and strokes. Look, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist. So you can take anything I say, you can't take anything I say as medical advice, right? However, I'm just sharing my research and I'm sharing the work of other people. And I always encourage everyone to do the research for yourself, right? Don't just take anything I say as the gospel. And I'm going to start linking sources when I get into more specifics later on. I follow the work of Jason Fung primarily when it comes to fasting and nutrition, and his experts they're amazing when you start to read the documentation. When I started out in my previous diet eating these bad fats, I had so many issues. But when I stopped consuming these sugars and carbs and increased my intake of animal fat, after 4 months, my triglycerides went from 167 to 45, my cholesterol went from 267 to 202, and my blood pressure went from 140 over 99 to 121 over 70. And that was all from eliminating carbs, sugars, and bad oils. So I encourage you guys out there to do the same and just stay with me because together we are going to slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.